Let's begin. Find a comfortable seated position, either on a lift, and a higher lift is, I think, is better today. So you have some ease. Of course, a chair is fine as well. Have a chair nearby. I'm back in the studio today, so I have the yoga chair here, but any chair will do. Your dining room chair is fine. Regular folding chair, whatever's around. So I have a chair nearby. Oh, let me mute everybody. I think I forgot. There we go. A couple blocks, or a block or block substitute, pile of books, dictionary, thesaurus, the nice thick books, Dan Brown books. Those are always good. And a strap or a scarf or a belt. It's something you can use to either an actual yoga strap or something you can use to mimic that. And before you move into all the adjustments, can you start by being here? Your mind likes to travel into the past, travel into the future. When it is here, it likes to compare. I wish this here and now would be different. So can you allow yourself to be here? You're not in the future, you're not in the past, you're not in any other location, you're here. And you're now. You're in the here and now. And then without fighting anything, even the discomfort, those things that you're going to want to go after in today's class, can you just for a moment allow them to be here without fighting them? And instead become an observer to this here and now present moment experience. And there's this idea out there that acceptance means we just kind of let it be and we don't have to work for any change. And I want to dispel that understanding of acceptance. Change is welcome, change is important. But we want change to grow out of a place of acceptance, accepting what is here, what is now. And from there, we can seek to change to grow, as opposed to seeking that change from a place of struggle, a place of fighting. If you start your changes from a place of struggle, then when you receive the changes that you seek, you will still be in a state of struggle. And if you can begin your changes, move through your changes, starting from this place of acceptance, the foundation of acceptance, when you get there, you'll be in a state of acceptance. So from this place of acceptance, balance evenly on the sit bones, adjust. From this place of acceptance, lengthen through the groins, from the inner thigh towards the inner knees, from the inner thighs towards the lower abdomen. From this place of acceptance, descend the inner thighs down. And from this place of acceptance, draw from the outer knees to the outer hips and compact your hips together. Now you are in a new here and now. Notice the effects of those adjustments. We focused on the legs, yet there is an impact physically on other parts of the body, the torso, the neck, shoulders, the face. There's an impact on the breath. And perhaps there's an impact on the mind. And then from this new place of acceptance, lengthen up through the side ribs. Keep the front ribs drawing towards the back body. Resist gripping in the inner thighs, so that continues to lengthen and release. As you lengthen also from the hips to the armpits. Allow the breath to touch the front, back, and sides of the body, not just the chest, inclusive of the chest, but we are a 3D body. Can you give the breath permission to touch the parts of the body? Dropping the shoulders down, lengthening from your armpits to your elbows. And then as the elbows continue to draw down, bring the palms together, thumbs at your chest. Touch the palms evenly, left to right, right to left. Broaden across the collarbones, the chest, broaden also across the top of the back, become wider. Let the face be still. And if your eyes are still open, close your eyelids from top to bottom. And everyone rest your your eyes into your cheekbones. Gaze at the seat of your heart, the seat of your soul. These very small changes brought us to a new place, a new here and now. The conditions are different. Can you find a new acceptance for this moment here? And let's chant the syllable Om 3 times together, exhaling completely. Deep inhalation. Lifting your sternum towards the ceiling. Lower your chin towards your heart. Release your hands onto your thighs with your palms up. With your eyes closed, raise your head. From the back of your head, gently let your eyelids open. And before rushing up to get into the next pose, whatever it may be, can you be here, observing? Right before we accept, we have to observe, observing the pleasant, the unpleasant, inviting it in. And accepting this moment, this here and now, just as it is. And releasing, get yourself a chair. Take your chair, put it in the center of your mat or wherever, but the back of the chair facing the front. And then sit in the chair so that the right side of your body is facing the back of the chair, which is facing front. And then sit with your hips squared, your knees in line with your hips. To the best of your ability. These chairs have that slant bar, so it's not perfect. So depending on what chair you have, you'll find your imperfections in it, and we work with them. That's okay. And take your heels in line with your knees. And before racing into the twist, you need to set yourself up. So what does that mean? Well, see if you can find an even balance of the sit bones. Now lengthen the groins, again, from the inner knee to the lower abdomen on both sides. Lengthen there. And descend the flesh of the inner thighs down. For me, as soon as I do that, there is a rising in the torso, a slight drawing into the abdomen, creating space. And there's a lifting action of the spine. Seek the top of the buttocks down, seek the front bottom ribs towards the back body. And then from here, extend the arms forward, arms up. Get that length. So pressing the sit bones down, continue the lengthening, the descending of the groins. Lengthen up, lengthen the spine. Inhale, exhale, take your arms out to the side. Get that width, but maintain the lift. The lift is more important than the turn. You must have that lift. And inhale, lifting even more. Exhaling, taking hold of the sides of the chair or the backs of the chair. Take your elbows up, shoulders down. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Inhale, lift up to the spine. Exhale, pull with the left hand, push with the right hand, and turn. Start at the base of the spine and move up. Inhale, lift, the pace of your breath, not mine. Exhale, turn. Drop the shoulders, lift the elbows. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turn. See that you don't grip in the groins. Soft eyes. And like we've been working, you don't need to go to maximum. Go to optimal. If you're scrunching your face, you're too far. You're working too much. Work smart. Maintain the lift. Inhale, exhale, come to center. Turn around on the chair. Square your hips, knees, heels. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Front ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Extend the arms forward, arms up. This is to get length through the sides of the body, length through the spine. Maintain that length. Exhale, take the arms down. This is to maintain width. Now maintain the length, maintain the width. Inhale, exhale, take hold of the sides of the chair. Start at the base of the spine, wind up. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, we turn. Elbows up, shoulders down. Pace of your breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Top of the buttocks down, ribs in. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Again, to optimal, not maximum. I mean, maybe maximum is optimal for you today. That's okay. But focus on optimal, not how much can I force out of my body. Be kind to your body. Broaden across the chest, broaden across the top of the back. Maintain the lift, maintain the width. Exhale, come to center. Turn around. Square the hips, knees, heels. Descend the groins. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Arms forward, arms up. Lengthen. Keep the lift. Exhale, arms down. Keep that width. Inhale. Exhale, take hold of the chair. Now, I didn't talk too much about the head. For now, I want the head not to turn with the body. So lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Elbows up, shoulders down. Ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. And see if you can resist the head. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Again, from the base of the spine to the top of the back. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. And spend some time observing. That's where the yoga can begin. The yoga doesn't take place as you're doing the actions. The yoga takes place when you begin to observe. And exhale, come to center. Keep that lift. Turn. Square your hips, knees, heels. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Extend the arms forward, arms up. Keep the length. Exhale, take the arms down. Keep the length, keep the width. Inhale, exhale, take hold of the sides of the chair again without turning the head. Elbows up, shoulders down. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning from the base of the spine up, pace of your breath. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. The body, not the head. Lengthen and descend the groins, elbows up, shoulders down. Ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Broaden across the chest, broaden across the top of the back. Observe. See if you can begin to create the conditions for yoga to take place. Exhale, come to center. Keep the lift. Turn around. Square the hips, knees, heels. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Arms forward, arms up. Drop the shoulders down as the arms go up and lift from the side ribs. So don't just pull up with the hands. So from the side ribs, push the arms up. Keep the front ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Maintain that lift. Exhale, take the arms down. Inhale, exhale, take hold to the sides of the chair, elbows up, shoulders down. Now double check, groins, lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Elbows up, shoulders down. The head hasn't turned yet. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Pace of your breath. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Now turn your head to gaze over the left shoulder even more. So the opposite of the way you're turning. You're turning to the right, the head then goes to the left. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. And then when you've turned optimally, begin to turn the head to gaze over your right shoulder. And inhale, lift, exhale, turn. And then again over the left shoulder, elbows up, shoulders down, broaden across the chest, broaden across the top of the back. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. If you're grimacing, you're working too hard, work less. And then inhale, lifting, exhale. Now turn the head, gaze over the right shoulder. Maintain the lift, maintain the width. Exhale, come to center. Turn around. Square the hips, square the knees, square the heels. Arms forward, arms up. Lengthen from the side ribs. I missed the groin. So lengthen and descend the groins. And then from the side ribs, push those arms up. Shoulders down, arms up, ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Maintain that lift. Exhale, take the arms down. Inhale, exhale, turn. Not the head, the body. Okay, so your breath, descend the groins, lengthen the groins, inhale, exhale, turn. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Elbows up, shoulders down, ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Drop the shoulders. Now gaze more over your right shoulder. You're turning to the left, gaze to the right. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning the body. As the head turns to the right, you turn to the left. And inhale, lifting. On the exhalation, turn the very top of the spine, gaze over your left shoulder now, elbows up, shoulders down. Broaden across the chest and the top of the back. One more time, looking to the right as you turn to the left. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. And inhale, lifting, exhale, turn the head, gaze over the right shoulder. Maintain the lift, maintain the width, exhale, come to center. Take your chair now towards the edge of the mat. Downward facing dog, hands on the chair. Take your hands on the chair, walk your feet back. Press down through the balls of the first fingers and thumb. So I have my hands spread. You can do the version where your hands are over the sides of the chair, thumb facing forward. If you do that, that's fine. Just don't squeeze the chair. So my hand is slightly off the chair. It depends on the width of your shoulders, right? So broader shoulders, you need your hands wider. So just kind of have the ball of the first finger and thumb on the chair, pressing down. Then lengthening through the inner arm and armpits. Don't push the front ribs down. So front ribs into the body, top of the buttocks, moving away from the shoulders. Thighs back, lengthen the groins. The flesh of the groins moving back. Or flesh of the upper thighs moving back. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact the hips together. Press the heels down as you do so. And look up, walk your feet forward, Tadasana. Now, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You can keep the chair if you want. If you use the chair for it, maintain the chair, keep the chair. If you want to use blocks, you have the blocks. Or on the floor. Press down through the ball of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out at the same time. Push into the floor. Lengthen through the inner arms. Turn your toes under, straighten your legs. Thighs up. Before you go into the post, lengthen the groins, the flesh of the groins. You know, I kind of use the word descent for all of this, but obviously in this case, they're moving up. So the groins moving, the inner thighs moving from the front of the leg towards the back of the leg, which in this case is up. Top of the buttocks away from the shoulders. Inhale, on your exhalation, come into downward facing dogs. Press the thighs back, take the chest towards the thighs. Lengthen through the arms, lengthen through the legs, lengthen through the groins, flesh of the inner thighs moving back. And as you press the outer heels down, lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Let the head go. And look up, walk your feet forward. Take your hands on your hips, elbows up, chest forward. Keep the thighs pressing back, keep the groins released. Inhale, come up. Tadasana, feet either together or hip distance apart is fine. Thighs back. Bounce evenly on the feet. Thighs back. Lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen, both sides. Which leg responds first? Can you bring equal awareness to both legs? Flesh of the inner thighs moving back, lift from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Your arms out to the sides, drop the shoulders, hold the arms up from the armpits. From the armpits, rotate the arms up. Watch those ribs. Get the ribs into the body. Inhale on your exhalation, bring the arms up. Ribs in, top of the buttocks down, push through the feet, extend through the arms, and from those side ribs, lift up. So don't pull from the hands today. And then turn your hands out to the sides, exhale, come down. And it's not that you can't. So actually, now we're going to do the hands version. It's not necessarily a right or wrong. There's a difference. So do push through the feet evenly, balance evenly on the feet. Push into the floor. Thighs back, lengthen the groins. Arms up. Drop the shoulders, rotate the arms so the palms face the ceiling now. And then from your hands, push up. Shoulders down, hands up, lengthen. Use your hands to pull your arms up, to pull your side ribs up as you push through the floor. Turn your hands out to the sides, come down. And then arms up again, push through the feet, shoulders down, thighs back, still lengthening the groins, ribs in, top of the buttocks down. Rotate the arms so they're up. Drop the shoulders, watch the ribs. As soon as you turn those arms up, the ribs come out. Now from your armpits, push your arms up. And don't pull with the hands, but from your side ribs, push your arms and hands up. And can you notice the difference? Without labeling one as right and wrong, but can you simply label them as different and examine the differences? Turn your arms out to the side. Push the air down as you take the arms down to lift the side ribs up. Let's open up the shoulders a little bit. So take hold of your strap. Or I should say, continue opening up the shoulders. So take hold of your strap or scarf. I'll get down here. You're standing. I'm coming down just so you can see my arms here. Of course, if you want to do this, you're welcome to. Lengthen the groins. Flesh of the groins moving back. Extend the arms up. And then drop the arms behind you. Try not to bend the elbows. So take your arms far enough apart so that you don't need to bend the elbows. And then forward. Lubricating the shoulders. Back. Your pace, not mine. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. And then the next time you go back, stop at that spot that just feels so open in the armpits. Watch the front ribs. When I do this, my front ribs push forward, which hardens the diaphragm. So draw the front bottom ribs towards the back body so the diaphragm remains soft. Top of the buttocks down and open those armpits. Take the arms down behind you and up in front of you and come down. All right, let's do one more for the shoulders. This is one of Mateo's favorite poses as of late, Garudasana. So from Tadasana, balance evenly on the feet. Still lengthen the groins. Release the groins. Ribs into the body. Take your right elbow on top of your left elbow, cross your forearms and touch your palms. If that doesn't work, you can't cross the forearms. I mean, you can just seek them closer together, but you can keep a straight arm, and then you reach across with your left arm, right arm straight, and drop that shoulder down as you bring your arm across. So that's the other way to do it. Otherwise, cross those forearms. Take your upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular to the floor, and rotate the wrist so the knife edge of your hand faces forward. Keep your front ribs towards the back body. And release. Take your left elbow on top of your right elbow. Cross your forearms. And touch the wrists. Excuse me, touch the palms. Take your upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular to the floor. Rotate the wrist so the knife edge of your hand faces forward. Front ribs back, top of the buttocks down. Open across the top of the back. And release. Arms out to the side, drop the shoulders. From the armpits, rotate up. And I'm looking for lengthening in the side ribs. So from the armpits, push the arms up, but then from the side ribs, push the arms and hands up. Create space in the side ribs, the spine. Turn your arms out to the sides. Come down. Lift up through the side ribs, drop the shoulders, extend through the arms. So we worked on this pose the other day, Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So we'll work on it again today. I'll go through the setup. I know not all of you are here. You want some sort of lift under your buttocks. If you don't have a block, that's fine. You can use some blankets. I do want you, so watch for a second, especially those that weren't here on Thursday. I want you to take a blanket or a towel. This is going to be for your shoulders, okay? Shoulders will be on the blanket, head is on the floor. Now I'm just going to show for a second for the benefit of those that haven't seen this before. So you'll take your shoulders on the blanket, head is on the floor. You have a lift, it can be block, book, or blankets. You lift up. We'll end up using all three heights. So we can start off on the low height, and if you just have blankets and no block, then that's okay. You can just use one height. And for others, we'll start low, then we'll go to the medium, and then if it's accessible to you, you'll go to the high height. And if you don't have a block, then, you know, take whatever lift you were sitting on before class. You know, have these blankets here. That's fine too. And you can always take a blanket, and if you want to go higher, add another blanket. The block's just easier because you don't have to add anything. You just turn it. But you can certainly add some height, and you don't need to change your height in the middle. It's just sometimes nice to ease into it. All right, so any questions? All right, so set something up here. I just have a blanket. You can use a towel if you don't have a blanket. Fold it here, shoulders on the blanket, head is on the floor. Take whatever lift you're going to use for your buttocks. For me, I have the block, but again, you can use anything else. Books, if you're using a stack of books, you know, we'll start with the dictionary, then add the source on top of that, and then add the Dan Brown book on top of that. Lift your buttocks up. We're going to start at the low height with the block, and then straighten your legs. Roll your shoulders under. Now, one of the things we were working on last time was this lengthening of this inner groin here. So from the inner knees to the abdomen and even over the chest, can you find a lengthening there? The thighs do turn in. Now, for people that are having lower back issues, you really have to press the thighs down, not the knees, the thighs. The top of the buttocks towards the heels as you press the thighs down, and the tailbone towards the ceiling as you press the thighs down. Of course, if that doesn't work, I didn't show this in the demonstration, I should have. If you have issues with your lower back and those adjustments don't work, then you take a lift for your heels. You just take your heels higher. And that will ease lower back issues. So stay in the pose. It's easy to get distracted here because we're not doing a lot of moving once we're in. But can you keep the thighs pressing down, top of the buttocks towards your heels, tailbone up? Watch that the front bottom ribs don't just force themselves towards the ceiling, but the front bottom ribs do still move towards the back body so that gives more space for the chest itself to move towards the chin. You want more movement in the chest than in just those front ribs. There's length in the side ribs. So I don't want to say there's no movement in the ribs. There is. There's a lot of length in the side ribs. But it's not a pushing of the front ribs forward. When you draw the front ribs back, there's actually more length in the side ribs. And then if you're changing heights with me, then bend the legs, lift the buttocks up, come to the medium height. Take the buttocks down. The support is at your sacrum, not your lower back, but your sacrum. And then straighten the legs. Turn the thighs in, toes are up. Thigh bones down, top of the buttocks towards the heels, tailbone towards the ceiling. But you have to keep the thighs pressing down as you do those additional two actions, top of the buttocks moving away from the shoulders towards the heels and the tailbone up. Lengthen from the knees to the lower abdomen. There's a lengthening from the knee to the inner heel as well. And the more you get that, the more you feel the opposite direction. Keep the front ribs moving towards the back body so that you can lengthen more in the side ribs and the chin moves towards your chest. Don't confuse chin moving towards your chest moving towards your chin. Did I say chin moving towards chest? Your chin does not move towards your chest. The chest moves towards the chin. The chin actually moves away from the chest. And the chest seeks the chin. Extending through the heels, extending through the legs. And then you can either stay here or you can move to a higher height. If you have the block, you lift up. Maybe you have to come up to the balls of your toes, lift the block. I like to then turn the block so it's in line with my spine. And then take the buttocks back onto the block or that sacrum back onto the block. Straighten your legs. If this bothers your lower back, if you have the lift in your chest, but it bothers your lower back, then you take a lift underneath your heels. Turn the thighs in, press the thighs down. I'm not concerned how close the feet are together. Thighs down, top of the buttocks towards the heels, tailbone towards the ceiling. Take the front bottom ribs towards the back body. Lengthen through the side ribs. Press your outer shoulders down. Keep lengthening through the inner leg, inner heels moving away. Soften in the jaw of the face. Gaze at your heart. And then bend the legs, lift your buttocks up, come back down to the medium height. If you're adjusting heights, or you can, if you're just using one height, be where you are. And then bending your legs, lift your buttocks, come down to the low height, straighten your legs. And then bend your legs, lift your buttocks up. Remove the block, come down from the top of the spine to the base of the spine, sit bones towards your heels. You need to adjust the blanket for your head, you can do so. Take a few breaths here, just let your legs go. And then bend your legs, roll to the side, and come up. All right, put the blanket to the side. Take your chair again and place it towards the edge of the mat. If the mat doesn't keep it in place, then take your chair against the wall. Okay? I don't want your chair moving. You'll take your right foot on the chair. We're doing Virabhadrasana 1. Right foot on the chair. So I'm not mirroring you now. So this is my right leg. You put your right leg up. And you have to hop this back leg back a little bit and find that place. For Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior Pose 1, knee will be over the ankle. So it's not the right angle. When we do this on the floor, we seek that right angle there. It's not going to be the right angle because the leg is lifted on the chair. So you still want your knee over the heel. Your back leg is back, toes just slightly turned out, and square your hips. Now, you want to be careful here that you're not, the thigh turns in. You don't want to just press your knee back, but you want to take the top of the thigh and press the top of the thigh back. And then there's a lengthening from the flesh of the back, front of the back thigh. It moves right up into your chest. So there's this big opening, or maybe it's a little opening. Hopefully there's an opening at this front part of the hip. Take the top of the buttocks down, ribs in, sit into it. A little too far back, so I'm going to just hop up a little bit. There we go. And see if you can get that opening. Keep the ribs in, top of the buttocks down, tailbone forward. Just opening that back leg, which reflects up into the chest. So even though I'm really working the front of the back thigh, I'm feeling it in the torso. You may see my chest lifting, although I'm not actively lifting my chest. But who knows? Maybe you don't see the chest lifting at all. That's okay too. And then switch legs. So straighten your leg, take it back, and take your left leg forward. So bend your leg. But so with that back hip, you don't just want to sink down as the leg bends. It's knee over the ankle, but you want to find a lifting. So the back thigh turns in, excuse me, and then take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. So that front of the hip is opening. Top of the buttocks down, ribs in. Hands are still on hips. And then straighten your leg and take your feet together. So this mat's the chair seems to be pushing a little on the mat. So if I were at home, I'd take this against a wall, but this will work for us. Right leg up. Now this time with the back leg, I had you have your heel down. I want you to turn your foot so it faces the same direction as your front foot. So it's not the one that it's turned out slightly, straight ahead, and then lift the heel up. Lift the heel up. And then as you press the thigh back, I want you to extend through the heel. Seek the wall behind you. Don't try and get your heel to the floor. I don't want it to the floor. But push the heel back towards the wall behind you and take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. And keep the front bottom ribs towards the back body. Top of the buttocks down. Lift up through the side ribs. Remember the side ribs that were pushing your arms up before? Lift up through those side ribs. But keep pressing back through the heel. And then straighten the legs, switch legs. So again, the back toes are forward now. Heel up. Keep the hips squared. Take the back thigh back, and as you press through the heel, take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. Keep pressing through that back heel. Front ribs back, top of the buttocks down, extending through the heel, lifting that flesh of the front of the back thigh, opening the front of the hip. And now lift up through the side ribs. And straighten the leg. One more time, right leg up. So back toes face forward, the heel is up. Press the heel back. So thigh bone back, heel back. The leg is straight. Now do lengthen the groins and descend the groins. That's going to help. Do compact the hips together. That's going to help. And then press the thigh back, extend through the heel. Take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. Front ribs back, top of the buttocks down. Lift up through the side ribs. Now extend the arms forward, arms up. Extend through the heel. Get the legs first. Extend through the heel. Flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. Descend and release the groins. Compact the hips. Now from your side ribs, maintain all that. From your side ribs, push your arms up. And when you have the assist of the chair, you can actually stay here longer and work with the pose. Be with the pose. Observe the pose. And then take your hands on your hips, straighten the leg back, switch legs. So back heel up. Extend through the back heel. The thigh moves back, extend through the back heel, take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins, compact the hips together. Front ribs back, top of the buttocks down. Now lift up through the side ribs. As you lift up through the side ribs, keep pressing that thigh bone back, extending through the back heel. And then maintaining all of that, take the arms forward, arms up. Use your side ribs to push your arms up. And study. Now's the opportunity to study. Now's the opportunity for yoga to potentially take place. And take the arms down, straighten your leg, feet together, Tadasana. Downward facing dog. Since the chair is here, may as well use it. Downward facing dog, hands on the chair. Press into the ball of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out. Lengthen through the inner arms, armpits, side ribs, thigh bones back. Lengthen the groins. From the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact those hips as you press the heels down. Look up, walk your feet forward. Tadasana. And release. Ustrasana, camel pose. So if you have tender knees, you may want to put an extra blanket down, right? So you can always take a blanket down. That's fine. I'm going to use my blankets for support or height, not support, height on the calves. So I'll turn around in a minute, but I just want to show you the setup. Hopefully you can see this. Knees hip distance apart, calves or lower legs, shin bones going straight back, feet going straight back. And then take some of your blankets or towels or cushions from your couch, bolsters if you have them are fine, couch cushions, pillows from the bed, and just place them here. Okay, so now you have a little lift there. Now I'll turn around so we can see each other. So knees hip distance apart, and by hips, I mean hip joint. So this is not what I want, where the knees are way far apart underneath the outer hip bones. Instead, underneath the hip joints. And then take whatever lifts, blankets, cushions, pillows, bolsters onto your calves. Start with your hands on your hips. Now from your inner knees, lengthen through the inner foot, through the big toe. And from your inner knee, lengthen the opposite way, up through the lower abdomen, with the flesh of the inner thighs moving back. Now maintain that length and push the shin bones down. As you push the shin bones down, you may feel a gripping in the outer hips. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips and compact the hips together without gripping the inner thighs, without gripping the groins that you just released. Now take your hands on the top of your buttocks, and we'll show it to the side. Take your hands on the top of the buttocks and slide your hands down your buttocks, tailbone in, and take your fingertips on the lift. Chin tucked for now. Now for me, as soon as I get here, I shove these bottom ribs forward again. So I have to draw the ribs into the body so the chest can lift. And then pushing the shins down, lengthen and release the groins, arch the back. Rotate the upper arms out. Keep arching, keep arching. At some point, you might go so far that the head just wants to go back. In that case, throw the head back. If that bothers your neck, or if your head kind of gets stuck in the middle, keep your chin tucked. So either chin tucked or head all the way back, but not hanging in the middle and not hurting. Push the shins down, lengthen through the whole front side of the body. Bring the shoulder blades into the body. Coming up, come up with the chest first. So press the shins down, come up with your chest first, then the head falls into place, and then have a seat. Ah, so beautiful. But anybody have any problems with that? Now's the time to tell me. All right. Oh, yes.
If I'm not able to bend all the way back, is it okay to use a chair?
Yeah, of course, whatever height, right? Any height you want. So I have blankets here. Sure. Chair version? Hey, there are many chair versions. 8-chair version, right? So that just feel like I had more blankets, right? So absolutely, take a chair, okay? You have to
Right.
go as far back as is optimal for you. It's not worth doing more than that. So a chair is totally fine.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other questions? All right, let's do it again. And if, I have 3 blankets here, if that's too much, if you really have the flexibility, can hold the pose, yeah, you can have the lower lift. The final pose, flat palm, flat on the sole of your foot. Interim, we take the hands on the heels. But this lift, even for me, and I can reach my heels, but there's a struggle there, and I can't get the same arch in my back. So when I'm really looking to work the pose for the spine, I don't worry about getting to the heels, even though I have the physical capability to do it. I want this lift in the spine. So let's do it again. Hands on hips. Press the shins down, but get the lengthening. So you're lengthening from the inner knee through the inner foot, through the big toe. You're lengthening from the inner knee over, up, through the groins, through the lower abdomen, and even reflecting up into the chest. Now, hands on the buttocks, slide the top of the buttocks down, tailbone in, fingertips on the lift, and then readjust. So lengthen the groins, descend the groins, release the groins, push the shins down, and lengthen from the inner knee through the inner foot, lengthen from the inner knee up over the chest, and then continue the coil. And again, you can keep your chin tucked the whole time. For many years, I did not take my head back. Many of you know I have some neck issues. Many years I did not take the head back. It's fairly recent that I'm able to do that. So lengthen through the side ribs, lengthen through the spine, and if it's comfortable, if there's an ease to you, then sure, take the head back. Front ribs moving towards the back body so that you get more length in the side ribs. And if the head is back, the throat should be completely released. Well, either way, the throat should be released. Coming out, press the shins down, inhale, come up, then have a seat. Now, if you felt that was too long, and I didn't keep you in a long time, but I didn't keep you in a short time either. If it was too long, I recommend practicing with a higher lift. You'll get more out of it. So take an extra blanket or towel or whatever. And if not now, when you go to practice later in your home practice, because I'm sure all of you are establishing your own practice now, very important to practice at some points without a teacher. I don't want to talk us out of a studio here, but that's how we really learn the yoga side of asana, is once we begin to practice with our own voices, with our own body, not just being told what to do. So if that was too much for you, then take a higher lift or grab your chair so you can actually be there for some moments. Okay, we'll do it one last time. Shin bones down. Lengthen from the inner knee through the inner foot, through the big toe. Lengthen from the inner knee up through the inner thighs, up over the chest. The thigh bones do still press back. Top of the butt, hands to the top of the buttocks, slide the buttocks down, tailbone in, hands on your lift to rotate the upper arms out. But now get back to the legs. Are you still lengthening? Out through the big toe and then up over the chest. The flesh of the inner thighs moving from the front of the leg to the back of the leg. And now lengthening through those side ribs, lengthening through the spine. At some point, maybe your head goes back. Shoulder blades into the body, throat soft. Now observe, study. Press your shins, inhale, come up. Have a seat. and release. Now we're going to do Setu Bandha one more time. All right, we did it earlier in the class. Now we're going to do it again so we can compare. So take this folded blanket or towel, whatever you are using, that's going to be support for your shoulders. Take your block or whatever lift you are using. We're not going to adjust heights. So you pick the height you want. If you're using a block, low, medium, high, if you're using blankets or something else, then just take it. Take the height you want. If you want something for your heels, right? If you do have that tenderness in your back, take a lift, take some extra blankets or a couch cushion for your heels. Lift your buttocks up. Decide which height you want. Keep the chest lifted as you take the buttocks back down onto your lift. Straighten your legs. And by the way, I should add, if straighten the legs it just really causes too much pain in the back, then bend legs. Okay, just bend your legs. I would try the other things, thighs down, top of the buttocks towards your heels, tailbone up. If that doesn't work, you take that lift underneath your heels. And if that doesn't work, you bend your legs. So those are your options here. So I want you to notice we did a lot of work between the first time we practiced this pose and now. And I do want you to still do the action. So thighs down, top of the buttocks towards your heels, tailbone up. Lengthening from the inner knee through the inner heels. Lengthening from the inner knee all the way up over the chest. Front ribs back so you get more length in the side ribs. Soft throat, soft face. And then study. Study the differences between before and now. And once you have observed those differences, let go of the differences and just study now. Study this moment in time. And then bending your legs, coming up, bending your legs. Keep the block where it is, or your lift where it is. Lift your buttock up an inch, your buttocks up an inch, and then take it back down. Lift your buttocks up an inch, and take it back down. And then lift your buttocks up an inch, remove the block, come down from the top of the spine to the base of your spine, sit bones towards your heels. Take a few breaths here. Pick a side, extend your arm past your ear, roll to the side, push to come up. Back to your chair, downward facing dog with the chair. If you really want to do it on the floor, you're welcome to. I'm going to pick the chair. Press the ball of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out. Lengthen through the inner arms, the side ribs. Lengthen through the inner legs. Heels down, outer hips up. How is this a different experience? Notice the differences, and then come to now. What is this experience? And look up, walk your feet forward. Take the back of the chair towards the front. Have a seat facing the side, so the right side of your body is facing the chair. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins, front ribs back, top of the buttocks down, arms forward, arms up, lifting the arms up from the side ribs. Keep the lift, exhale, take the arms down. Keep the lift, keep the width, exhale, take the hands over to the sides of the chair, looking straight ahead. Elbows up, shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale, turn from the base of the spine to the top. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Your breath, pace of your breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Elbows up, shoulders down. Look more over the left shoulder. So looking back, opposite way you're turning. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. And inhale. As you exhale, turning, turn the head now. Gaze over the right shoulder. Maintain the lift, maintain the width. Exhale, come to center. Turn around. Square the hips, knees, heels. Lengthen the groins, descend the groins. Front ribs back, top of the buttocks down. Arms forward, arms up. Push the arms up from the side ribs. Inhale, keep the length. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, keep the length and the width. Exhale, take the hands to the chair. Head is still forward, elbows up, shoulders down. Pace of your breath from the base of the spine up. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Now look more over the right shoulder. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. And then inhale, lift, exhale, turn to the tip top of the spine, gaze over your left shoulder. Keep the lift, keep the width, exhale, come to center. And just to even things out, one last downward facing dog. I'm going to take the chair. If you prefer the floor, feel free. Let's even out the sides, the length in the side ribs, length in the arms, legs. And then walk forward. Tadasana. And then set yourself up for Shavasana. So take a blanket for your head. Either be a flat blanket, or if you have some neck issues going on, take a folded blanket. If you have tenderness in your lower back, you can take a couple more blankets, roll them up underneath your knees, or most of you here in the live class anyway have seen this one where you take your calves on the chair. So that's fine too. So either flat, something rolled up underneath your knees, or legs on the chair. This is quite nice. Take that blanket and have it touch the top of your shoulders, not under your shoulders, but just touching the top of your shoulders, supporting your seventh cervical. And let your arms out to the side. Find a comfortable place here. And let go. Let go. Now is the time to fully receive the gifts of your yoga practice. Now is the time when the learning from the yoga practice is etched into the memory of yourselves. So allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to surrender to the support of the Mother Earth below you. Allow yourself to surrender to the support of the Mother Earth below you. And your legs go, your arms, your whole torso. Letting your skull release. And your throat release. Letting all of your facial features release. Let go everything, hold nothing. Let go everything, hold nothing. Let go. Surrender. Shavasana. Deepen the inhalation. Lengthen the exhalation. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your nose. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor with your knees together, feet apart. Take your hands, place them onto your abdomen or onto your chest. When you feel ready, extend your right arm past your right ear, roll to the right side. Of course, the left side is easier, roll to the left. Place your top hand on the floor in front of your heart, turn your torso towards the floor, push to come up. Come up chest first, head last. Come up to sitting. Your palms together, thumbs at your chest. Take a moment here to observe your practice. To observe this moment in time, this new here and now. And having observed, accept. Bring acceptance into the present moment. So that as you move throughout your day, making changes, learning, growing, in each new step that you reach, you will be greeted with a sense of acceptance. Let's close our practice together by chanting one collective Om. Deep inhalation. Om. Gently let your eyelids open. Big smile. Namaste. Bow to the divine within you.